Hey gamers, it's a me, Maniac, and this is a video review of Super Mario Brothers movie. My wife and I actually went to go see the movie last night at the Cinemark XD screen, which was pretty impressive. I mean, I've been to Cinemark XD showings in the past. I have noticed that at least previous times that I had gone to Cinemarks, there was a problem with the brightness on the screen. That was not a problem on the premiere. It was a perfect picture that they had. It was absolutely perfect. And maybe it was because the movie's 4K digital. I don't know. But I wanted to say just a props to whoever's managing the current XD or what the current status of the XDs are. That they have improved, and this movie looked fantastic on that screen. I'm so happy I got to go see it on the XD. So that's all out of the way. We saw the 3D version of the film. Again, XD version. I did not see the IMAX version. I don't think there's any difference, to be perfectly honest, but that's not what you guys want to hear me say. You don't want me to talk about the technicals. You want me to talk about what I thought of the movie. The reason why I've been going over about this is because I loved the movie. I actually did. I know that's surprising or not surprising coming from me, a person who back in 1993 actually went to go see the original live action film and actually did enjoy it myself and still do enjoy that film for some reason. But so just so you know, like how my opinion was, or at least what my opinion is. This was a very good movie. This, I would argue, is probably the best film of the year so far, and has set a very high bar for the rest of the films that we can expect this year. Now, I haven't seen Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that, but I have seen Ant-Man. This is better than that. This was certainly more I liked Ant-Man, but Mario was better. And yeah, what can I say about this movie without spoiling anything? I think that the trailers are pretty good at establishing what you can expect or what kind of set pieces that you'll be able to expect if you want to go see this movie. The movie is a mashup of not just Super Mario, but I was definitely seeing shades of obviously Mario Kart and Donkey Kong Country, and even a little bit of Smash Brothers in it. And that's all okay. That's fantastic. That's great. And again, I'm not spoiling anything because all of those scenes that I'm describing were also in the trailers. The game music, the original Koji Kondo score from the games were reused in the movie. In fact, actually, Koji Kondo is actually credited, and this is the first time I've ever actually seen a proper Koji Kondo credit for his music in something outside of the original games. So certainly props to the filmmakers for actually giving Koji Kondo his proper credit, because he certainly deserves it. The music is fantastic. His notes, how they arranged them, great. Other stuff I wanted to talk about was a little bit more about the 3D effects. If you have the chance to see this movie in 3D, see it in 3D. This is without a doubt one of the best 3D films I have seen in a very long time. And this is, I mean, maybe it's because they used, these were 3D models. This was a 3D animation film or something. But the opening alone, where they were able to play around with a depth of field, but also that they could have debris over the front of the screen. So if there was a wind effect, or if there was like a rain effect, or like a fog effect or something, or a debris effect, it would be right over your face. And it was just seamless, just absolutely seamless. So I don't usually praise 3D that much in this series. I think I did praise the 3D effects when I did a review of the Silent Hill sequel many years ago, because they did something very similar. But this movie blew that completely out of the water. Like, this movie was like always on. It just always, you got that. At the end of it, you're basically just completely immersed. You were just completely immersed. what did I love the most about the movie? What did I think about the characters? What did I think about a couple of other things? This is just off the cuff, so I kind of just want to basically say this. I know a lot of people were, when they saw the trailers, were concerned about Chris Pratt's vocal performance. I don't know if maybe that forced him to record, but I had no problem with his vocal performance throughout the entire movie. I also thought everybody in the film, and I want to give special props to Jack Black actually. Um, did great, just did great. I was in, I was in for these characters. So it seemed to it worked. The actors did. Keegan Michael Key, I'm sure I think they might have done something to his voice because to kind of turn it a little squeaky or something like that for Toad. But Keegan Mike, everybody did, I thought, a great job. Props to Anna Taylor-Joy, props to Charlie Day, certain props to Seth Rogen, Jack Black, of course. Great vocal performances all across the board. Charles Martinet did get a credit. Turns out I guess maybe this is a spoiler, I don't know. Charles Martinet is credited as playing Mario and Luigi's father in the film. It's a small role. It's a very small role. I could have sworn I heard Martinet's voice a few times, not coming from the main principal characters, but I swear I heard his voice in some of the background characters, but I could be wrong. They could have just been my mind playing a trick on me, but it certainly sounded like he did more than just Mario's dad's voice. Maybe he did some background characters or something. But even if he hadn't, I'm glad they were able to get him at least. The action set pieces, the visuals. This movie's visuals basically rival any 3D film I've ever seen, and certainly pushes the capabilities of what we've seen for Super Mario in general. The game looks better than any Mario game out there. And that's but it still feels like it comes from that original source material. So if you watched it on like maybe a 2K screen or something like that, you might say, "Oh, cool! You're playing a new Mario Switch game." But if you're watching it at the super high resolutions and everything else, you see that finer detail. Like the overalls have a texture to them, and there's a little bit more texture to the scales on Bowser's face, and there's a little bit more resolution on Donkey Kong's fur. It really does get down to that nitty gritty, basically, and it's great to see that they really did push the character models. They're still recognizable as the character models that we remember. They still fit in this world. It's just they're just more detailed, and that's great. That's all I could have hoped for. That's fantastic. Again, I don't want to spoil any of the movie or the plot line of the movie or anything like that. These are always spoiler free reviews. But there is a couple of moments that I wanted to reference. Basically, there are a lot of reviewers, and I've read a few initial reviews about the movie that were complimentary, but kind of backhanded complimentary. Like, oh, the movie was great, but all of those Easter eggs distracted. Those reviewers are idiots, and they're wrong. The movie absolutely does references across the board. I mean, I noticed Wrecking Crew references. I guess this is not a spoiler because these are just, Easter eggs and stuff like that. There were Wrecking Crew Easter eggs, Donkey Kong, original arcade Donkey Kong Easter eggs. I saw a Star Fox Easter egg that my wife missed, but when she was like, "No, yeah, you mentioned that did look like that." Yeah. Kid Icarus, of course. That one's pretty much in your face. Didn't see any Metroid, didn't see any Legend of Zelda, anything like that. But the soundtrack selection, at least for the licensed music in the movie, there's like I said, most of it is Koji Kondo's music, but there is licensed music in there as well. It's all 80s music, and that's perfect. Absolutely freaking perfect. And I'm going to tell you why. Because this is obviously a franchise that started in the 80s. Super Mario, the original Nintendo was out in the 80s. This was the music that was at that time. And the fact that they chose to use that soundtrack of that time for this property is just perfection, absolute perfection. Cannot disagree with the choice of licensed tracks. Nor can I argue with the arrangements. The music was perfect. So, what did I think about this movie? Obviously, I actually went to the movie actually wearing this hat. I probably may go see it in movie theaters again. And I very rarely see a movie a second time in theaters. I'll usually go see a movie in theaters, and if I enjoyed it, I'll get the movie on DVD. Or if I missed it in the theaters, I may pick it up on DVD and take a chance. Or I may just like wait until I can see it on streaming or HBO or something like that. And then if I really liked it, I'll pick it up on DVD after that. But this is a movie that I actually may go see a second time. It was just that enjoyable to go see it in the theaters. Well, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know this was a bit of a rambler, but I really did enjoy this film, and I do encourage fans of Super Mario and Nintendo in general to go see it. Until next time, guys, this is Maniac with GameAccess.net. Take care. Over and out.